I feel you, Magresta. What's crazy is that, like, well, I don't know, the pre-chat is just, I mean, it's like a petri dish, right? It's like when you leave your dorm room in the second week of December and you come back in the second week of January, you realize you were too lazy to take out your garbage before. So it's just like 18 different kinds of insects and bacteria and viruses like chilling down there. But what's crazy is that, like, predominantly my audience is like grown adults with jobs. So like they're just getting insane at the end of December for like the love of the game. Like, it would be different if this was like a Fortnite stream and the average chatter was like 15 or something. But like these are these are individuals who are in their late 20s and their early 30s, man. It's just a crazy phenomenon. Just started my gym session. Would it be degen to have the stream on? Guy who wants everybody to know that he started working out on December the 22nd. I'm not like other people who work out. I don't wait until January 1st. You should start whenever you feel the motivation to start. Don't wait for an arbitrary day, even if that means starting 10 days early, which I know sounds maddening. Watching from 20K feet? Regional ass. Budget airline height to fly. Embraer ass E40 ceiling to fucking fly at. 20,000 feet? That's Bush League, bro. McDonnell Douglas MD-80 ass ceiling to fly at. Everybody rush the cockpit. Okay, that one might actually get you in trouble. We live in a climate where it's okay to say rush the bus driver. But rush the cockpit is never gonna, as long as I live, it's never gonna be okay. Also, I get freaked out when you're on a plane and there's two pilots usually. Two pilots, there's only two pilots on your average, maybe 4-hour flight. Anyone else get nervous when like one of them leaves the cockpit to use the first class bathroom? Because then there's only one pilot, man. Nah, not really. No, why would I? Well, what if the remaining pilot goes insane in like the 3 minutes that it takes for the co-pilot to come back? There's nobody to stop them, bro. I will stop them. You can't. They made the door out of obsidian, bro, and you've only got a wooden pick. You want them to hold it? I think they should just be able to, like, I don't know, go in their seats or something. Like, surely, like, if you're in a fighter jet, they have, like, I'm being so fucking for real, but doesn't the flight suit have, like, a little suction cup attached to your wangus? So that if you're flying 1,100 kilometers an hour in a sortie over enemy territory, but you have to go piss, it just kind of sucks it out? I'm assuming same thing for like NASCAR and F1, right? F1, they piss in the suit. They just hold it in. And I mean, F1, let's be honest, you could probably, well, I don't know, they're locked in though. I was going to say you could hold it for 2 hours without a doubt. And also you're probably sweating so much that you don't actually need to go pee. You'd think like the margin of error is so small though. They would have a piss solution instead of just relying on people holding it. But I don't know. I guess it's the sort of thing where like, I mean, I'm gonna be bold and say that it's probably less exhausting to do a 90-minute Peloton ride than it is to drive around a track at 500 kilometers an hour for approximately 2 hours while, you know, a 1/800th of a second separates you from the guy in front of you. But I don't piss on the Peloton because I think even though I take in like a liter of water, your body's just at equilibrium. You hit like a fluid level of homeostasis. Fish cigarette, that might be good, man. That might be good. Buddy Dasher was convicted of stealing cookies from Santa's cookie jar and was scheduled to go on the naughty list on Christmas Day. On December 24th, 1987, Dasher arranged caroling practice in the toy workshop during which he committed Kringleside with an extra big candy cane. That's a fucking good message, man. That is the rare long message apropos of nothing at all, just pasted into the stream that's actually worth reading. They got timed out in Dan's chat for that. We got different vibes. I sort of don't understand why they would be timed out for that. I mean, maybe they have a history of typing some crazy stuff. Getting timed out in Dan's chat is crazy. I got timed out in Dan's chat once. And I've been over it a few times. It's true. I not recently, but maybe 5 years ago, I got timed out in Dan's chat. Maybe 6 years ago. I'm not doing a 6-7 joke. It actually might have been 6 years ago. I'm trying to remember like what office I was in when this happened. I got timed out in Dan's chat for crashing out on him for jumping too much in Sekiro. But in my defense, he shouldn't have been jumping so much. He wasn't doing any like blocking or backstepping. He just, every time an attack came in, he just jumped. I thought you were gonna get perma'd for Kato. The way Dan's chat reacted to Kato caught slipping blew me away. There was somebody in his chat that was like, this video's fake. And I was like, you don't, like, to go around the world in your brain. He was crashing out for like 10 minutes being like, imagine thinking the kangaroo video is fake and this video is real. Bro, the stepdad got waterboarded by mustard. What do you mean the video's fake? The dude, then he gets up and he says, I'm gonna beat that ass. And he like, then the video is so like old YouTube coded. Like he basically is almost caught on video assaulting his kid. And then he says the craziest, most genuine reaction of all time for a man who has absolutely no power in his household. He says, who's gonna buy me a new t-shirt? There's absolutely no way that was artificial. If it was artificial, he would have been like, oh, it's so tangy. Oh, it's so zesty. Oh, what the hell? It's mustard. Get back here. It's so real that I actually think you're fake if you think it's fake. But him going like, this isn't funny. This isn't funny. This man is trying to take a nap. Made me sick, man. He sent me videos of people getting knocked out in street fights before. Disingenuous ass beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Bro, Isaac's been out for years. What the hell do you mean beta? I think I say this now and then. It's crazy to me. I've played 4,000 hours of this game, and every time I go to the directory, I can't remember what game it is. Is it Afterbirth, Afterbirth Plus, Repentance, Rebirth? There's there's mods that were named almost exactly the same thing as the DLC. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. OSRS January? No, I'm thinking it's gonna be, it's Isaac December. Obviously Dota January is baked in. We just need to wait for everybody to not be like, traveling, decking the halls with boughs of holly, fa-la-la-la-lying and stuff like that. Once that's done, Dota January, and then who knows, man? Pong February? E33 kind of fun though. Too bad they use generative AI for placeholder art. So you're canceled, buddy. You're gone. Ha 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 ha. Get him? Oh, you didn't know? Okay, but actually, I literally know nothing about it, but there is a gamer dad at my daughter's school that sent me a message on WhatsApp that said, did you see the controversy at the Indie Game Awards? And I said, no. And then he said, he availed me of the controversy. And to be honest with you, I went, that's awesome because Blue Prince needs the love. Everyone's forgotten about how awesome Blue Prince is, man. How did you explain Christmas to your daughter? She literally does not care. She just knows that she gets presents. I don't think she has any concept of the fact that it's Jesus Christ's birthday. I think if you pressed her, she probably would know the name Jesus Christ. But I don't think that she has any concept that it's his birthday. Jesus was born in March. I'm gonna let me go with phase 2 of this. I also don't care. As far as I'm concerned, we've all accepted the truth that it's Jesus' birthday, even if that is a lie, so I'm just going to keep calling it Jesus' birthday. Because I refuse to be Reddit incepted by the pluribus hive mind to say some shit like Jesus was actually born in March. I don't know him. He's not, I'm not going to say he's not my friend, because I thought kind of his deal was that he's like everybody's friend, but like I don't know him like that, I guess is what I'm saying. I've seen Jesus going crazy sometimes, carrying people on the beach. Using his forearm as a surrogate for that guy who's injecting hard drugs. I've seen that one. And the real question, Jesus honestly was kind of trolling in that picture, if I may, because the dude is clearly jonesing for a fix. So this might have been like I don't even know, like the 10th time he tried to inject and he's like, I just can't get high. I don't understand, no matter how much heroin I inject, I just can't get high. You're fucking with him, Jesus. You're literally like ruining this guy's life by saving his life, but you're ruining his life. Jesus is when you build a tolerance. That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, Jesus. when you put a beer to your lips, Jesus just sliding his mouth. Oh, thank you. Excuse me. Jesus taking the dice from you at the craps table. Jesus getting a second piece of cake for dessert. Ruins of Zemonia, and you've been around for a long time, okay? 28-month subscriber, 2-year badge. I've noticed you in chat 10 times in the last 2 weeks, and every single message just says a pinball game that makes you mad. So I'm gonna test something right here. Oh, not Ruins. Rummo of Zemonia. A pinball game that makes you mad. Glorp, glorp. A pinball game that makes you mad. A pinball game that makes you mad. Can I recommend a foreign film that I watched on the plane home from Italy? A pinball game that makes you mad. A pinball game that makes you mad. A pinball game that makes you mad. Go to water treatment. A pinball game that makes you mad. Hot oil guy video react. I don't like food waste and people getting hurt. Red Bull yapper. Glorp, glorp, glorp. Red Bull yapper. Hold right mouse button to zoom in. A pinball game that makes you mad. You owe me some honesty, okay? You owe me some honesty. Have you been paid by the developer of the game, a pinball game that makes you mad? And that includes if you are family and or friends with the developer. Nah, I just really like it, no connection. All right, if you really like it, you gotta stop. Anyone know what this does? What the? Oh, but I can't see what the hell that is, man. I think it's 9 volt. Confirm 9 volt. I'm gonna roll, man. I don't know what the hell. Now it's what the hell is that, man? It's like the relic. I have no idea what that is. King Baby? King Baby? Oh, brother. You're gonna say, why'd you pick it up? I dead ass did not believe you that it was King Baby. So did that really take chemical peel and give me 2 shitty items? It's 2/3 of conjoined, asshole. Conjoined is literally not good, librarian. You would know that if you derived what's good and bad in this game from base principles instead of waiting for like Game Torah to tell you. Conjoined is like completely irrelevant. It's good for synergy. Okay. Oh, conjoined makes brimstone a lot better. Oh, you know what? This cigarette is sure making this blowjob rather Moorish. What the fuck are you talking about? It's the blowjob that's doing the work. Conjoined has nothing to do with it, man. That being said, I've never smoked, so I don't know. Why are you saying derive from base principles so much? Because motherfuckers back in the day, they used to derive everything from base principles because they didn't know how to read. So every caveman was discovering how to make fire for themselves, okay? And that was worse. And then we invented the oral tradition, language, the written word, effective information transmission. And then it was like a 50-50 split of like, check out this awesome trick that I found. And then also I read this thing in a book. And that was awesome. That was great because you were getting a little bit of like, people were like quest giving you. They were like giving you tool tips and shit like that. But you were also able to like lock in and read like a book that could make you like a better gardener or something like that. But now nobody's fucking doing anything and learning from doing things in a hands-on manner. Everybody else is instead just going to r/today I learned and going, well, by the time I'm ever asked to do anything IRL, I'll be level 99. If I'm ever outside of the house and I have to, I know you've been working at Old Navy for 10 years. Did you know you're folding the shirt wrong? You're actually folding the shirt wrong. There's a more efficient way to fold the shirt that I saw online. Oh, you're taking offense to this because you've been doing this for 10 years and I've never folded a shirt in my life? Okay. Fuck you, man. That's why. Actual straw man? This is not a straw man. This is a guy that exists and it's almost every guy now. If you've never met him, you're probably this guy. Because in order to meet people, well, I was going to say you have to go outside, but that's not true. This guy is often on Discord. 3 fallacies in 1 bit. It's almost a record. And did you go to, did you read Plato's The Republic? Did you read Plato's The Republic? Or did you Google BuzzFeed top 10 logical fallacies? Were you trained in the Socratic method yourself? The jokes write themselves, so I'm not going to debase myself. Maybe your job is awesome, and that's why at 9:55 a.m. on a Monday you're trolling in my chat. Maybe maybe you are off from work because you are the CEO and you said, hey guys, let's all take off early, enjoy the holiday season. That could easily be the case. If hangovers didn't exist, I'd be such a big streamer. Thank you, Prezzo, for at least acknowledging that they exist. I feel like that's the first step of figuring out if someone is or has ever been a real drinker. As soon as I see someone, and it happens occasionally in real life, but it happens a lot in chat, you'll see someone that's like, I'm not like other girls, I've never had a hangover, and then you're like, well then obviously you've never had like way too much to drink. Then they'll say something like, nah, I've gotten pretty crazy. I've gotten pretty crazy. I guess just like I guess my body's just a lot better than everybody else's, even though I just look like a normal motherfucker. I guess I don't know, maybe I just have like some kind of special gene that just breaks it down. And to have, I took pleasure in this back in the day, but it's been a while. I was friends with one of those guys in college, and then one day he stopped saying that shit. And honestly, it felt like we had bonded a little bit. He's probably drunk right now. I think so. He has a good job, which means he's probably off for the holidays already, or maybe has been for like a week, and works in a field where they drink a lot socially. So it's and he's on the Eastern time zone. So there's actually like a very realistic chance that he would be at least a coffee and Bailey's in right now. If not, maybe. Oh fuck you! I'm fucking stupid. Yeah, he's a pilot. he's an ER trauma surgeon. The thing I worry about with respect to alcohol and working from home is that like you can definitely drink too much and have like a job in an office. People have been doing it for like, you know, a century and a half or whatever. But I feel like it's a lot more dangerous when you can work from home and ride out the hangover diarrhea like in your own bathroom. Eventually, you know, I had a summer job in university. I was still living in basically like the frat house with friends of mine. Sometimes you would go out till like 1 in the morning and then wake up at 6:15 for work the next day and be fucked up. And then you're like, well, how many diarrhea breaks can I get away with at work? Realistically speaking, I can probably only get away with 2 diarrhea breaks. So you go to work, hold in the diarrhea for like an hour and a half or something like that. Go to the bathroom, diarrhea out as much as you can, as fast as you can. Go back to work and hold it in for like 3 hours, and then take another diarrhea break in the afternoon, and then be like, I'm never doing that again. I think it's self-limiting, man. You get a free one at lunch. True, but it'll cut into your nap time. A dude at I don't know if it's okay to talk about this. I guess as long as I change the story enough so it's not real, it's totally fine and legal. A dude at my old job actually got fired for misconduct at work. And the misconduct was being intoxicated at work all the time. And I was like, because we went out for lunch, and then when we came back, they had like an all-hands meeting that was like, just so everybody knows, like when you guys all went to lunch, we fired this guy. And I was basically like a summer intern, more or less. So I was talking to the other employees, you know, the cool ones that are like within 2 or 3 years of my age. And I was like, how did you guys know? And they were like, he would come to work and he would just like work, and then he would go to the bathroom like 10 times. I was like, oh shit. Well, you know, just so you know, guys, some of us have developed a technique where we drink 7 liters of water during the workday so that I have to go to the bathroom, so that I get to take a little 2-minute break, maybe once every 45 minutes. Nothing untoward's happening in the bathroom. I just consider this job like spiritually crushing, so it like pissing is a better alternative. Fuck you. Librarian, I'm literally like, I earned this one. I don't know what to tell you. We did not get like a gifted a good run. I D6'd myself into being 1 hit away from lethal. Like, what's your problem? This is all skill. Do you hate me just because I said conjoined was good? I literally don't even hate you at all. Have you ever seen the movie? Add that to the watch list, 10 things I hate about you. I hate the way you edit your videos. I hate the way you put my face on top of someone who's wearing Nazi regalia in the thumbnails. I hate the way you make me laugh. I hate the way you promote my content. I hate when you make me go viral. But most of all, I hate the way I don't hate you. Not even a little, not even a bit, not even at all. Damn, I might be a good actress, man. I could feel myself. I could have cried. I could have cried there. I chose not to, because I was like, I'll never live the clip down. But I could feel that I could have summoned the tears. You're now breathtaking manually. Fuck! You're breathtaking manually. That's pretty good. Troll Keanu. Keanu troll face. You know what's fucked up is that, like, everybody thought Keanu Reeves was sad because he was eating that sandwich on the park bench by himself. It's probably like literally the only moment in his entire life where he's ever gotten to be by himself and enjoy a meal in nature. But now, because of the meme, like, nobody will leave him alone, man. Bro, yeah, he was locked in on a sandwich and everyone was like, oh, that's so sad. It was a construction site. In my head, he's in the middle of Central Park, okay? You got that Sarah McLachlan commercial up there? She's from Vancouver, buddy. What do you think? Yeah, we got that Sarah McLachlan commercial up here. Anyone else getting those ads? And again, these are blog ads, not YouTube ads. I don't know what the fuck they're showing in those these days. But it goes, the ad that I see, one that I showed Kate that I got her laughing about a lot was one cure for baldness. You've got to try it. So I took a screen cap on my phone of it. It was a man who was a Norwood 5. So he'd lost like most of his hair and just had the horseshoe. And someone was pouring a bottle of Coca-Cola Classic onto his head. I was like, I got to try that, man. It could be that easy. Scientists befuddled. Just pour one bowl of Coca-Cola on your head every single day. Could be the move. And then also, another one was like, and this is why I was like, I don't know what the algorithms got on me, but it was like, eat this to kill all the worms in your body overnight. So again, I don't know how many worms I got in there that aren't supposed to be in there, but the algorithm seems to think I've got an infestation. But the other one I've been getting a lot of that I think they're starting to zero in on my personality was like, ultimate Canadian quiz, can you name these Canadians? And then the picture is AI-generated Shania Twain, AI-generated Celine Dion, and AI-generated Alanis Morissette. And I was like, yes, I can. Yes, I can name those 3 Canadians, to be honest with you. Baby, 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 when you touch me like this, or when you hold me like that. You know what I'm talking about? Celine heads? Yes, dude. Yeah. Nope. That's fair. I feel like Celine is like, she's like the least popular, most popular artist of all time. Like if I was to ask you name 5 Michael Jackson songs, you'd be like, Thriller, Wanna Be Starting Something, Job's Gone, Brad, What Are You Gonna Do, etc., etc. But for Celine, like I can't name 5 Celine Dion songs, but obviously she's outrageously popular. I'm so upset he wasn't saying Job's Gone. I don't care what r/Michael Jackson says. He is not saying dog gone. He's saying Job's gone. He's saying, Brad, what are you gonna do? And he fired Brad. He fired Brad right after the video. They did not have a fruitful, productive cooperation for the rest of his touring days. They did not. He was fired after that because he dropped the ball. I think that's the worst day of Michael Jackson's life, except, well, now that I'm thinking about it, there's probably a few more that come up to the top. The trials, when he got set on fire, dangling the baby over the edge, and the subsequent aftermath. There's probably a lot of ones that clear that. His childhood, sure, okay, fair enough. But then, not only did Brad screw up the audio, but the backup singer's trying to sing the Michael Jackson part, and you can tell he's kind of like trying to stop himself from crashing out on the backup singer. The baby dangling wasn't even that bad. No, it was pretty bad. It was out of pocket, man. You're not supposed to hold your baby over the edge of the balcony. I genuinely believe that he was trying to, that he was just trying to show off the baby, but you don't show off the baby by putting it over the edge of the balcony. You put it like, you know, you just go, here's my baby. He's so silly. He actually is. He's a silly guy. I don't think, listen, okay, was. Yeah, I know Michael Jackson is no longer with us, okay? I'm not a Michael Jackson still alive sort of guy. But all I'm saying is, among you, I don't think, in the best faith interpretation, I don't think you could conceivably say Michael Jackson was not a silly individual. He had some silly times, man. He had a pet chimpanzee. I saw him in Malaysia in 2019. Was he on MH370? This is like an actual, like, national tragedy. I don't really feel good that my brain went, plane's gone. Plane's gone. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. I know. That's why I said I don't feel good about it. You think Michael Jackson would watch Kai Cenat? I think there's like a 98% chance that if Michael Jackson had lived to 2025, he would have been on the Mafia-thon too. And I'm not even being facetious. I think there's a great chance that he would have been on the Mafia-thon. Like, we actually, I know it sounds like I'm making light of it. I guess I'm not making a joke about it. We were robbed from so many good Michael Jackson interviews. If he was still alive to this day, I would love to know what Michael Jackson's thoughts on COVID were. I'd love to, Michael Jackson in the Oscars selfie with Ellen and Bradley Cooper. Michael Jackson on the Joe Rogan Experience. Yeah, him saying 6'7". Okay, I can't say that. I can't say that. A lot of people are still very sensitive over that, but I could totally see Michael Jackson being like, I don't understand why lockdown's such a big deal. Bro, you live in an amusement park. You guys been watching Physical 100 Asia? I was telling my Discord today, if in some freak accident I was like a genetic aberration that qualified for Physical 100 in any capacity, as soon as my opponent starts saying shit like, when the pain became unbearable, I just imagined I was a young child running with wild horses across the steppe. I would go, you know what? Fuck this. You can go ahead and give him the prize. I don't think that I'm gonna... when I was like 10, I was playing PlayStation 2. I don't have that kind of like wellspring of motivation to draw from. I think like I might as well just give up right now and save my tendons the wear and tear. When the dude I'm up against says, I used to train by wrestling horses, so this is nothing. Yeah, like, I want to go up against someone for whom this competition is the hardest thing they've ever done. I don't want to go up against someone for whom this competition is like a nice break from their normal day-to-day life. That's fucking crazy, man. That one guy from Team Mongolia, one ticket for Marty Supreme, please. But Kate's making a joke because we were watching like the team competition, one of the team competition episodes of it last night. And inevitably, like 3 seconds into every competition, the people who are spectating go, you got this, he's gassed. And then like a minute later, they do a time lapse that's like, 4.5 hours later, and they're still just going, ah! I was telling Kate, sometimes at no point when I watch Physical 100 am I like, I would do better than this person. But there are some challenges where I'm like, I think I would do all right at this. And then there's some where I was like, I'd be cooked at this. The team challenge one, I'm like, I can't do any of these. I'm gonna get fucked on the hurdles. I have low agility and I'm not tall. So like that one's done. The totems is probably my best chance, and I think I lack the mental toughness. Let's not even talk about the, Newtonian physics of it. And then the balance one is not even worth discussing. Too heavy for the balance one, not strong enough, and my balance is fucked. And then the sack toss, I mean, like, might be able to get it over a few times, but we're not going for any length of time, let's put it that way. Crazy, this bait is crazy. I want you to explain yourself, okay? I want you to explain the bait so I can figure out how mad at it I should be. I listened to Good News for People Who Love Bad News for the first time the other day. Were you like severely unpopular in high school? Okay, first off, no. I was neutral. I was in the middle of the 3x3 grid. I wasn't getting overly glazed, but I wasn't eating my lunch alone in the bathroom. That came later when I wanted to maximize my efficiency to record more Isaac episodes. But why would you be unpopular for listening to an album that had like a number 3 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 charts? Everyone was rocking with Float On, man. Holy shit, it worked. The album is loser core though, for sure. It worked. They don't know, I'm only pretending. What are you talking about? I'm asking you to explain why you typed the thing that you typed. We are legion, losers. You have you're having a psychiatric episode. As a result, I don't really feel like going in on you too much. That's just, especially in the holiday season. But you should, like, you should sort yourself out, because I didn't say drink the soup. I'm not going to say consider therapy, because from having gone to therapy myself, I'm not 100% sure that it actually does anything. You can hate me if you want, I've got lived experience. I'm just kind of, like, some of the shit I was listening to, like, I was listening to Marquee Moon in high school. And that's the sort of thing where you could be unpopular. Imagine you're like, you finally get invited to a party and they're like, hey, take the aux. And then they plug the aux into your Creative Zen jukebox. And then that goes to a little dummy cassette tape. And then you put that into the tape deck and you go, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Rolling Stone magazine called this the best guitar solo of all time. That's the kind of shit that could get you, it could be socially very dangerous for you. But good news for people who love bad news? Someone in chat said it, man. This was peak Natalie Portman era. Don't say Marquee Moon got you pussy in high school. No, the fuck it did. Marquee Moon didn't get anybody pussy in high school. Even if Richard Hell had played the solo in high school, people would have been like, it's a little long, don't you? A little self-indulgent. You really need 10 minutes to make your point? Yeah, people were doing it to Kanye's new workout plan. Back when I was in high school, it was a different era, man. Don't say you're on his 2026 workout plan. Well, I don't know, because he recently, he recanted all of his, many of his ignorant statements, right? So it could be worse, like his 2024 workout plan, really, really bad to be on. 2026, probably, I wouldn't recommend it, but it might not be as bad as 2024. And this clip might age so funny. Please, yay, don't do any interviews this year. Please. Thoughts on the gay hockey show? Heated rivalry? I have no thoughts on it whatsoever. I've seen the ads. I did not go awesome. I did not go gross. I just went, cool, gay hockey show. Good for them. I guess that's my thought. Good for them. Shoresy? I think Shoresy is a straight hockey show. But I don't think I've seen that either. I do think I watched one episode of Letterkenny because you guys were trying to get me to watch it. You were saying stuff like, it's so funny. And then I watched it and I was like, I guess because I kind of like lived here, I just don't get it because this is just how people talk. It's like my culture is not your costume type thing, I guess. I don't know. I just sort of didn't understand it. My parents are always stimming with Letterkenny. It makes me very upset. I think it's cool to like watch media and quote it, because otherwise it would be disingenuous because I'm a millennial. But I will say, I was at my parents' house yesterday. Kate, I didn't tell you this. I think my dad started stimming Shrek, which was like blowing my mind. Because I don't even know if he's seen Shrek. And I will say, before I say this part, it might be South Park, but I think it's Shrek. Because he kept multiple times, he said the same way Rob used to say, I say we let him go. And the first time he did it, I was kind of like, what's he talking about? And the second time he did it, I was like, this ain't an accident. He keeps saying, I say we let him go. That's Pee-wee. Oh, this makes more sense. Okay. Mom asked me yesterday if I've been watching the new South Park season. It really felt horrible. South Park Mom 1998. You're like, whoa. Mom's ahead of the curve. What about Family Guy Dad? I actually, if I may, I'd like to apologize for my generation. Because again, the same way I rail on boomers for like, please let the Hollywood era of 1987 like end. That's kind of what like millennials have done with cartoons. Like it's just always going to be 2001, I guess, as far as cartoons go. Simpsons still on the air, Family Guy's still on the air, South Park's still on the air. Like, sorry guys, it's not me. I swear to you, it's not me, man. What the fuck, dude? Are you mad at me because I'm a generational traitor? Well, I guess Gen Z's got their own. Well, no, because then we had this argument about SpongeBob. I still think SpongeBob is a Gen Z show. And you can tell me that it fucking started in 2003, which is like before Gen Z even existed. But they've taken up the mantle is what I'm trying to say. I'll accept that it's a zillennial show. It started in 99. Okay, and fucking Fleetwood Mac's Rumors came out in 1977, but like its echo happened when that motherfucker started drinking the cranberry juice. What? Rumors was insanely popular in the 1970s, but also not that many people were talking about it like day in and day out until that motherfucker started drinking the cranberry juice, Justin. You know the guy? It's only right that we should play the way we're feeling. That's like saying Looney Tunes is millennial coded because we all had Tweety Bird sweatshirts. Bro, Looney Tunes is fucking millennial coded. Space Jam came out in 1995, motherfucker. And even still, 32-year-old motherfuckers in my chat keep asking me, well, you really don't think Space Jam's peak? The fuck are you talking about? Yeah, kids still watch Looney Tunes. It's like my kids literally like the LeBron tweet. My kid's been watching Tom and Jerry before class in the morning. But it honestly is kind of sick. My kid threw me for a loop too. She was like, guess who's my favorite? And I was like, easy, Tom. He's a cat. And then she said, nope. And I said, I thought you liked cats. She said, I do like cats. I said, who's your favorite? She said, Jerry. I said, why? She said, funny. Okay. Guess that's all it takes these days. Just the mouse is literally ruining the cat's life or whatever. Yeah, you know you've grown up when you start to feel bad for Tom in Tom and Jerry. Bro was just trying to live his life, man. I'm sorry, I'm doing the movie detective bit. I was watching Tom and Jerry the other night when I noticed something sinister. Oh shit, I was dying, man. I took a date to see the number 23. Be honest. So fucked. I was gonna say, did you pick it or did she? So I was gonna do a bit like worst movie you've seen on a date. For me, it's the 2006 film When a Stranger Calls. I'm just gonna say it. I did not pick it. She said, oh, there's this awesome movie coming out this weekend. We should go see it. I said, oh, what is it? She said, When a Stranger Calls. I said, all right. Tropic Thunder? Tropic Thunder is a good movie, though. I don't think you're understanding unless you're trying to suggest that women don't like to laugh, in which case that's problematic, and fuck you, buddy. Worst on a date, Monster? The one where Charlize Theron plays the killer? Okay, but like, I'm trying to find the, by magnitude, worst movie you've seen on a date, not the most inappropriate. Also, I don't know if this is like the neurotypicalness talking, but I'm kind of like, I don't see the problem with going to see Monster on a date. Weren't you guys like, whoa, what a great performance by Charlize Theron, let's go get dinner? Or like, was it on the date, was this the first time that either of you discovered that like murder exists and the vibes were all fucked up? Or like you didn't look it up before you went out to see it? Or like how did it happen? Here we go. I went on a double date to go see Welcome to Marwin starring Steve Carell. I had to be the one who suggested it. It was a bad time. I appreciate you for owning that. That's a fucking funny movie to see on a double date. Welcome to Marwin, the one where Steve Carell gets like beaten up and concussed or whatever, and then to deal with the trauma, he builds like a miniature version of a British town in World War II or something like that, and the whole movie is just... Well, he also becomes the dolls, if I remember correctly, but isn't like all the real stuff in that movie is just people coming over to his house going like, you ever think about getting back out there? You ever think about leaving your backyard and all these toys? Marriage Story? Okay, like, you guys don't, not all of you, but some of you don't understand the question. Marriage Story is universally regarded as one of the best films of the 2020s. Now, you're gonna say some shit that's gonna piss me off by defending yourself, so I'm gonna save you the breath. You're gonna say, yeah, but it deals with some very serious and very real subject matter. Okay. Fucking, you're grown-ups, right? Were you like 12 years old? And also, how'd you see this shit in theaters? Didn't it come out like in just New York and Los Angeles and then dumped on Netflix because they financed it? On a date? Talk about a vibe killer? Are you dating real people or NPCs? You should be able to take a real person to a movie and there might be like some uncomfortable themes and then you could talk about it after. Not to be like, oh, I've got to go home. I went to see Marriage Story. That'll be a nice romantic movie. What the fuck? They got divorced? Like, there's trailers and shit, bro. Like, I don't understand what are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense to me. Now people are too scared. They're too scared to say anything else. I went too hard. Happens now and then. Now we're in the uncomfortable phase where, like, nobody wants to say anything. Took a date to see 12 Years a Slave at Alamo Drafthouse. Am I the weird one that's like, I think you could totally take a date to see 12 Years a Slave and have it not be weird? That seems like is it not a good movie? This seems like a good movie. It seems totally fine. Like, what do you want? Oh, best movie I ever saw on a date? Finding Dory. Like, what are you talking about? Like a movie where fucking nothing happens and actually Finding Dory, not that good, but kind of traumatic, bro. She loses her fucking parents because she's got a bad short-term memory. And then her fucking parents outside of the aquarium, they built like the shells out to try to lead her back. And like years later, they were still fucking there, dude. Holy. Maybe Finding Dory's a bad example. I was gonna watch it in an hour for a date. Buddy, if you're watching a 2017 kids movie on a date, you're already there. You're basically married, to be honest with you. You're already in at that point. If she's coming over to watch Finding Dory, it doesn't matter. But like, it could be sick if you put on like Midsummer or something instead. Movie was weird. Okay, fucking, who cares? That is cool, but it sucks, I guess is what I would say about that. That's cool, but it sucks. Yay! Yippee! Fuck off. It's honestly, don't take this the wrong way, librarian. I get it. I would be upset too if I watched someone play a lot of this game and then was still not as good as an idiot like me who doesn't even know what any of this stuff does, but it has gotten pretty decent over the years at least dodging the enemies. And you're sick? I mean, I guess I'm just a different type of gamer. I've just played a lot of the game. That's where most of the skill came from. No charge bars throwing me off? Is that like a mod? Settings menu's basically a mod to him. You know who's not a mod? Librarian. Yet. Guy who thinks head mod... Justin, back me up here. Guy who thinks head mod is something you attach to your fleshlight. Prince Albert, my liege? I don't think I'd ever want to get like a cock piercing, to be honest. Seems like... Can I say something without kink shaming? It seems like more trouble than it's worth. I can't imagine the increase in pleasure, whether for me or for another person. I can definitely imagine the inconvenience in the pain, which has me curling my toes a little bit just thinking about it. But then also just, I'm sure like, I guess I would just think like, doesn't it get a little bit cold? Like in the winter time, is that something you can get if you live in the Midwest? Like, or would you be like, my penis is stuck to my underpants or something? Like that kid's tongue in A Christmas Story? Weird juxtaposition. Not really. I think you're a hammer and everything you see is a nail, whether metaphorical or otherwise. It's not your fault. I think it's the climate you grew up in. Bro was talking about a penis piercing and then later made a reference to a movie that's enjoyable for all ages. Little weird, don't you think? No, not really, to be honest. Watch Jacob's Ladder on Christmas. That's what I'm talking about. You think his friends were just gaslighting him? He was like, hey guys, remember in Vietnam how like we smoked that shit and then we all went crazy and like started eating each other? And they were like, yeah. He was like, let's do something about it. And they were like, yeah. And then like a day later, they were like, we don't know what you're talking about. Classic friend group prank, man. Hey, wouldn't it be cool? Next time Jacob comes over, let's all pretend we don't remember when we were like killing and eating each other over in Vietnam. Welcome to dairy, kind of sick. Yeah, unless you're lactose intolerant. Shit, welcome to dairy. Okay, that's fucking good. I don't know if that's going to get the whole video demonetized, but that's worth it. Shit, welcome to dairy. That probably is like the lactose intolerant experience, if I had to guess. Didn't you already talk about cock piercings? That was last video. You never know with YouTube, too. Sometimes they might be like, you can't talk about lactose intolerance. Like, there were bizarre videos where they started hitting me with that banner that was like, climate change is real. And I was like, I know. I know it's real. Why are you putting this on my video? You're gonna get me in trouble. Oh, good, that's right, because there's an item called weather machine. Oh, man. Let's take the tyrant's whole kingdom. Someday, I'm telling you, they'll build a weather machine to keep the fields so lush and green and grow some tasty things. You know what I'm talking about? I miss the bizarre stims. No, trust me, I hear you. It was an easy thing to play. I paint my shit red, and I don't use paint. Let's take the tyrant's whole kingdom. Dismemberment plan on a Monday? Yes, baby. Emergency and I Monday. Yes, baby. Fuck yes. Emergency and I on a Monday. Fuck. A life of possibilities, baby. Yeah, fuck yeah. Back and forth, baby. 8.5 minutes, baby. Yeah. You are invited, baby, on a Monday. Fuck yeah. Gyroscope on a Monday, baby. Fuck. Surprised how well that went. The city, baby. The city, baby. Yeah. First time watching on Twitch instead of YouTube. How do I control when he speaks? It's so funny that like Christmas noobs are not just like a Call of Duty thing. Like literally it's the winter break is like Twitch regulars farming the first time chatter noobs, man, that don't know how to talk here. It's so good. They're walking in with like, I've won 85 consecutive games against the AI on Rookie, and then they go into skill-based match with boom! Boom! First time, I'm a long-time YouTube viewer, first-time Twitch chatter. Has he always been this bald? Listen, you decrepit sack of shit. Christmas Noobs is a throwback. Should have made the song Christmas Noobs instead of Christmas Shoes. Santa, can I have some noobs in my halo, please? It's Christmas Eve and my ranking is too high. Santa, won't you give them games? Daddy says there's not much time. He's been bronze for quite a while. I know some noobs would make him smile. A bit made only for me. I'm the number 2 Christmas shoes hater on planet Earth. Patton Oswalt obviously number 1. Like he told no lies in that bit. Christmas shoes is the reason the Christmas shoes bit from Patton Oswalt hit me so hard is because I grew up. I don't. This is too real, so I don't know if people are gonna. I don't know if people are ready for this. I went to school in a very interesting environment where it was kind of a combination of like, let me put it this way. It had an accelerated incubator program for what in hindsight, what at the time was like, oh, you're good at school. All the really good people from school, in this district are gonna go to like one class and learn a little faster than the other kids. In hindsight, I'm recognizing that, and I'm including myself in here, it was essentially like Y Combinator for like people who are not neurotypical. Like when I think back to my friends, my closest friends and classmates, many of whom I'm still friends with to this day. I'm like, I get it now. We didn't know what it was back then, but I get it now. And there was a girl in our class who was deeply religious, which at that age means that her parents were deeply religious, and she's just kind of along for the ride. And then every single year, from the time that the song Christmas Shoes came out, which must have been like 2002 or something like that, she sang Christmas Shoes at the Christmas concert every year. So this was like grade 7, grade 8, then we went to the same high school. She did grade 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I've heard her sing the same song 5 times, just her at the concert, right? So that's one reason why I hate it. But then, good ending, if I may say so, and in a second you might be like, you may not, but I'm going to anyway. Fuck it, bro, we ball. I think she's now married to a lady. And I'm hoping that at their house, they're not playing Christmas Shoes all the time. I'm hoping that they're listening to maybe like, that girl thinks she's the queen of the neighborhood. She got the hottest bike in town. I'm hoping they're listening to something like that. Well, I hope they're listening to whatever they want, I guess, but Twitch, thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Is Stimmy check? Can you do that? Because, like, you're... You know what? Then listen, I'm not trying to cast aspersions. I do appreciate it. You're kind of controlling both sides of the balance check, the balance sheet here. You know what I mean? No, wait, it's not money laundering. That doesn't really make any sense. It's just free subs. Eat quiz, no subs. Remember that? Guess he can't see chat right now. Twitch, I'm talking to you. You got your stream muted. You got your stream muted. You should know. I'm something of a legend in Palagos. I can still hear all the lines, man. One of my first ever conscious memories is in the Kingston Cosmic Adventures. There's literally hundreds and thousands of us, which is crazy. One of my first memories isn't there because I think it opened when I was probably like 9. So it had been around, well, I'd been around for a bit, I guess, by the time it came to be. Stop saying Vanessa lines. You're throwing off my train of thought. You're making me say shit in my head like all canon, no ball. One of my first memories for sure is being in the Canadian Tire parking lot at like that fuck-ass tri-corner of like Bath Gardeners and Concession. And I don't know anything beyond that. I can see myself there. Nobody cares, which is fair. That's a pretty like individual memory. No one knows what you're talking about. What's funny is that like people in chat will do that, but they'll do that about like Ohio, where nobody lives. Even though I think the state itself probably has about 50% of my country's entire population in it. But I'm still not 100% sure that any real people live there. 7th most populated state. See, people in the Midwest love saying shit like that. Really dunking on the 7th most populous state? I know people from Ohio love being like, worst state? Wow, let's start with California. I know they love talking like that. Worst state of matter? I think 100% it has to be gas. I think it's crazy that there can be like an odorless gas that kills you. Solids are obviously like way up there. Liquids, some of my favorites for sure. Plasma? No, that's a fucking like comme ci, comme ça ass answer. I know the French teacher's asking you ça va and you're saying comme ci, comme ça, you motherfucker. Just give her a straight answer. You're not comme ci, comme ça. You're fucking 9 years old. You're ça va bien, bitch. You're ça va bien. In English, please. Your French teacher would always ask, how are you? And then some fuck-ass comedian in the chat would say, so-so. Just because comme ci, comme ça sounds like it has a sing-song quality to it. Does that happen, any native French speakers here? Does that shit happen in English class? When your English teacher, who I'm sure you say some shit like, Mr. Smith? I'm sure you're always doing some shit like that. Good morning, class. Good morning, Mr. Smith. That's so funny. Nah, English isn't that interesting. I mean, so-so is kind of comme ci, comme ça. It has the same sing-song type quality, man. Monsieur Anderson. I've got to watch The Matrix in French, man. Oh, shit. I've got to watch The Matrix in French. I bet it's fucking awesome. And then the Merovingian starts talking with a British accent. Oh, take a look at that bird over there. You like what she had for dessert? Send her the Welsh rarebit that gets her panties in a twist, mate. French Morpheus would go fucking crazy. We do call him Monsieur Anderson. That's so fucked up. His name's not Monsieur Anderson, it's Neo. Tu es le un. Are they saying shit like that? I'm so, my French is so bad, man. He's called Le Unique. It's literally, you haven't done anything wrong, but that's so fucking funny. That's so fucking funny. Oh, it would be a great time to be able to speak French. I can hear French Keanu Reeves in my head saying like, so you're telling me I can dodge bullets? And then French Morpheus goes, Vraiment. D'accord. I totally fucking see that. Even though that's not what he says in the movie, to be fair. Ceci n'est pas air you're breathing? I've got to see The Matrix in French, man. Damn. It's crazy to think that, like, probably 15% of people who've seen the Matrix have seen it in French. I guess maybe they just watch it with subtitles on. That makes more sense, but... I know they gave Cypher a fucked up voice. I was also thinking the Matrix. But it's like, I don't know. I forgot, I had like a better context for making the joke make sense, but it ends with Cypher talking to Neo and going, why oh why didn't I take the poo pill? It's like Morpheus giving Neo like a choice, and one pill is full of piss that puts you in the Matrix, or takes you out of the Matrix aboard the Nebuchadnezzar, and the other one is a wait, yeah, so the other one's a poo-filled pill that lets you stay in the Matrix, and Cypher's going, why oh why didn't I take the poo pill? Oh man. I'm so French, I think Matt LeBlanc is Daniel Craig. I'm so... There's gotta be a joke here. Matt LeBlanc sounds like what they call Gandalf in the French dub of Lord of the Rings. And Matt LeBlanc, why did I go Dennis Miller? Why do I always default to the Dennis Miller cadence? Oh, please, Penny. Your French is so bad, you think Gandalf's name in the French Lord of the Rings is Matt LeBlanc. Yeah, much better. Sheldon cadence. Sheldon cadence might work. I did see the clip of the Philadelphia Flyers broadcaster who got suspended, and suspended for 2 games to me seems appropriate.
Yes.
While you're down there, would you mind blowing me?
I think we're still on the air, Tim. No, we're not, are we?
Where he thought he was off the air during a commercial break, and then like his partner, who is another man, by the way, just because it changes the dynamic a little bit, you should know this in advance. His partner apparently is bending down, and in his sportscaster voice he goes, "Hey, while you're down there, would you mind blowing me?" And then his partner goes, "We're on the air." And then with his sportscaster laugh, he goes, "No, we're not, are we?" And then he goes, "I think we are." It's so funny. It's I'm glad that many of us appear to be on the same page here. A straight guy saying to another straight guy, "Hey, while you're down there, would you mind blowing me?" is comedy. I'm sorry. And I don't think to everyone's credit, I don't think anybody is out there going, "That's not comedy. That's actually a problem." Everybody seems to basically be on the same page. That's like, that's pretty funny. But also, you have to suspend them. You have to suspend them a little bit. Because that's your role as the organization. You have to be like, you can't say that. But the reason you can't say that is because it's too funny. If they didn't suspend him for saying it, it wouldn't be funny for him to say it. Would it have been funny if he did it? It actually would have been even funnier if he did it, of course. If they came back from the break and was like, And we're back for the second intermission. Jim's got my cock in his mouth, by the way. Like, that would have been peak. At least it's not a gambling ad. I was tweaking out. If you watch a football broadcast without a critical eye, you're like, yeah, there's a lot of gambling stuff, but like, whatever, you just kind of tank it. I was watching Sunday football countdown, and they have a segment. It's an American segment, okay? American show before they go to the Canadian broadcast. So on Sunday football countdown, they did a segment where they have like 4 panelists, and then they all pick one prop bet to load into a parlay. So one guy gets up and goes, I don't know about you, I see Jahmyr Gibbs running for 110 plus yards today. And they slap it up there, and then I see Nico Collins getting at least 2 trips to the paint today. So they put these all up, and then there's like a parlay that's like plus 11,700 or something like that. And then they're like, go to DraftKings. If you deposit $50, you get up to $249 in bonus bets. And then they were like, okay, we're cutting to commercial. Because that's like where they transition from the US to the Canadian broadcast, they transition to a FanDuel Sportsnet or TSN desk where 2 paid stooges go, here's my best bet of the day. So you literally go from gambling ad inside of the broadcast to gambling ad disguising itself as a broadcast. They give their prop bet, and right after that, they cut to the commercials, which are all gambling ads, man. You would think, like, I mean, I guess maybe this is naive, but you would think at this point they would, like, have everybody, I guess. Like, is there anybody out there that's like, I can't figure out where to gamble. I want to gamble on my phone on sports, but I just don't know if there's any place that can accommodate me. I guess, yeah, you're right. It triggers them to open the app. I could see that. Honestly, though, that I watched the Jake Paul fight, and that was fixed. I'm sorry. Jake threw. There's no... I know there's physics, and Anthony Joshua's like... He's a taller, and he's heavier, and he's got more boxing experience, but Jake... I mean, he had him right where he wanted him, man. Didn't you see after his jaw got caved in, and he went... Bah! And he went, bah! Didn't you see him? He was ready to go 6 more rounds, man. Despite in the last 3 rounds of the fight never putting his hands up a single time, which I'm hearing in boxing is not good. Apparently in boxing, it's not good when you're so tired you can't put your hands up anymore to stop more punches from hitting you. I think Jake had him, man. Referee literally said, I think you got to investigate the referee. That's all I'm going to say. Because I don't want anyone to clip this out of context. All I'm going to say is that referee, I want his Kalshi profile audited right now. Because Jake had only been knocked down like 8 times. You don't call a fight after 8 knockdowns. He had him right where he wanted him. Nah, man, it's mess. I still don't like to talk about it. I was also, and I know why, obviously, because Netflix spent like $1 billion on it, but it was so funny to hear the commentators, man. Yay! And they're saying shit like, you know, this is actually a great result for Jake Paul. A lot of people thought he was going to literally die in the ring or be knocked out in the first round, but he actually made it to like round 6. He proved that he could be competitive and hang with like real heavyweight boxers. And I was like, we have eyes, bro. We watched the fight. He didn't do anything. Like, he actually got a couple of good shots in. What are you talking about? How about the Devils bringing back their starting roster just to get bodied by the Sabres? Hughes fraud watch? Buddy, listen. If you're a Sabres fan, you should know. The time to talk trash is once you see the X next to your team's name in the standings, okay? You don't talk trash now before the New Year's even started. Didn't you guys have a 12-game winning streak a couple of years ago and still miss the playoffs? Like some unfathomable outlier stat line like that? Like until you cross the finish line, don't talk smack right now. Maybe this is the year when finally the predictions of it finally being the year of you turning the corner come true, but you have to relax until then. You're going to screw this up for everyone. Easiest run of my life. Literally easiest run of my life. What do you guys think? I'm not trying to ruin anybody's life. We're now at the point, millennials, we're at like kind of, well, I mean, I guess you can never tell. It depends on demography to some extent. But I was going to say we're at like peak millennial influence. We're probably, at this point, the modal generation. Like we have the most people. I don't know if I'm using that term properly, but you get what I'm saying. We're entering middle age, you know, to some extent we become the drivers of culture, both as producers and consumers, in that sense. So it's time to take stock. What's the worst thing that we as millennials have foisted upon the culture? I'm going to throw some chum in the waters first. I think we fucked up when we made barcades. The thought of going to the barcade is so much better than the actual experience of being inside of the barcade. Well, I'll say a couple of things. A bar with enrichment is cool, but like it turns out, going to the average barcade, which appeared to be the beer is the same price as normal, but then also the arcade games are like $1 each. So you're paying like $10 for a beer and then also like $1 to play Joust or something like that. Kind of sucks ass. Like it's a bad value proposition. If you live in some place cool where they can do it and be like, hey, you pay $10 to get in, but like the arcade games are free or something, that might be a different story. That could be cool. People are saying stomp clap music. I could see that. But I mean, you also, no, just, this conversation is just conversational threads that make you mad. Because I was gonna say, yeah, but what about the fact that like, for some reason, like I thought everybody in my generational cohort kind of agreed we would like listen to shitty music when we were like 12, and then we would start listening to like good music when we were grown-ups. But then like they dropped their end of the bargain and they're still listening to like Pink now. Like they just never. I had to pick somebody. I don't have a particular grudge against Pink or something like that. It's just like I didn't realize, like, you know, the people who were listening to Fergalicious in 2008 were still going to be listening to it in 2025. But that might be true of like all generations. I don't know, man. It's true they can't listen to Eminem because Gen Z canceled Eminem. Why am I Larry 5'2"? Fuck you, Larry, you bald asshole. You're a prick. Librarian, that could be a good thing to put. You could just start taking stims from, Susie stims from Curb Your Enthusiasm to insult me in little editorial stings in your content. You bald motherfucker! Fuck you, you bald asshole! You bald piece of shit! Yeah, well, you're bald, Larry. Larry, you're bald! Why do you say her whole name like she's in trouble? Okay, buddy, her name's not Susie Stims, okay? It's not a Hall & Oates song. I'm saying these are stims from Susie. Susan Stimulus. That's so fucking funny. I really have, I've started to learn some uncomfortable truths about myself with what I laugh at. Like, and you would think like, yeah, the people falling down the elevator shaft is not funny. Fuck you, that's fucking funny. But Santa at Yalta should not make me laugh as much as it does. Like, that fucking picture of like Stalin, Winston Churchill, and FDR at Yalta, and then like picturing like an edited version of Santa in black and white right next to it, like representing the interests of the North Pole and shit. It should not be that funny, man. But it is kind of like, it's like a Minions thing where people are like, okay, Minions, where were you in World War II? Where were you on 9/11? It's kind of the same thing. It's like, buddy, Santa's real. We hold these truths to be self-evident. But like, what the fuck were you doing 39 to 45, bro? What the fuck were you doing 39 to 45? No shot. You're gonna say Santa was probably neutral. Bro literally has a nice and a naughty list, okay? So we know he was on the good guys. But like, what the fuck was he doing for the war effort? That's all I'm trying to say. It's a non-political list. Sometimes you're on the naughty list for political reasons, okay? Did Gru start making hand sanitizer during COVID? You know, dude, it's so funny. Well, it's not funny. It was kind of like a world-changing event in a very negative way. But remember when COVID sort of started to feel normal? And then you would use the hand sanitizer before going into the grocery store and be like, oh no, it's one of those fuck-ass hand sanitizers. They ain't using like the Purell that dries off in 1 second. They're using the one that makes your hands feel sticky for like 10 hours after. And you're like, oh no, man, fuck. And then you gotta like go to a store that has the good hand sanitizer so that it can eat the bad hand sanitizer off your hands. That's all my office had? No, man. We definitely want this. Definitely want this. Librarian, how you feeling about Isaac today? We've done about 3.5 hours of Isaac. No bathroom breaks or nothing. And just mowing them down. Just mowing them down. This is a old school type of Isaac day right here. Bladder strength high. I only got 1 can of sparkling water for the stream and it's already gone. So I figured I might as well just let it ride. I have an over on bathroom breaks at 3.5. Honestly, safe bet, but I mean, that's why the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. The market didn't know unless they had an insider in Peloton. They didn't know that I PB'd today. And if I'm PBing, you know, like I'm having the same amount of water, but expending more effort, which means that I'm probably a little bit dehydrated, which means that you should be taking the under on bathroom breaks for sure. So honestly, like there's no way you could have known. And that's why you shouldn't be betting on that stuff. Could we all, well, no, because someone's gotta, if you're gonna pump and dump, someone's gotta be pumping so that there's someone to dump on. I was gonna say, could we all work together? Because someone was saying you could start a market on Kalshi for just about anything. So if we could start a market on the docket, and then I just choose the docket, and we all make a lot of money and nobody suffers any consequences whatsoever. You ever think about that? It could work. There has to be a buyer. I'll pay some influencers or something. Pay some influencers to promote it. Oh, I got a bead. He, in the wintertime, during the game drought, he always plays Isaac. Oh my god, Fortnite docket, because it's the last day of Simpsons. We never could have seen this coming. Dump, dump, dump. And then you and me are going, oh man, I think I gotta roll that one. Oh, librarian, that's gotta sting. Why? Because it's a good item, I think. Why are we fixing the market? Easy way to make a lot of money really fast, I guess. Oh! All of Hannibal? Fuck that! Season 1 and 2 of Hannibal. Not season 3 went a little bit off the rails for me. Actually, I don't think I even finished season... He eats people? I don't think I even finished season 3 of Hannibal. I got pissed off because at the end of season 1, Hannibal and Will Graham were gonna fuck. And then at the start of season 3, I go, here I go. Time for the Hannibal, Will Graham fuck fest. And then he's like fucked off in Austria or something with Agent Scully from the X-Files. But he's still like, and if I may say so, thank you for saying they were gay baiting. I agree with you. But also, I don't know, because I don't know, maybe they were bi, at least. I feel like he might have turned Will Graham bi. And I think Hannibal just doesn't give a fuck as long as he gets to eat. They took the food shit a little bit too far. When he was like roasting a dude's leg or something, you're like, this is sick. Then in season 3, they were using every part of the buffalo and putting out like, they got to the point where I wasn't like mad that he was like eating people. It was more, I was like, nobody's got that much time in the kitchen to prepare this fucking meal, man. Like, and then you add the murder on top of it. It's just not realistic. It's not realistic that you had time to like trick this person into going into your thrall. And then also you're like, by the way, this is 16 hours in the kitchen to get this meal done. It just doesn't make sense, man. And he's a practicing doctor. He's a practicing psychiatrist. Like it boggles the mind. He has no children. That's true. That is true. There was bisexual sex in the House of Cards in the season finale of season 1, I think. Bro, they pegged Meacham. I think in like season 3, they pegged Meacham, bro. The Threecham. Why do I still remember the name of Kevin Spacey as Frank Underwood's Secret Service agent from the House of Cards? Because he got pegged, I guess. Well, and because also 10 times an episode, bro was going, Meacham, come here a minute, will you? He was always saying some stuff like that. New impression unlocked? Old impression, I'm afraid. Is that a PS Vita? I've been looking to get one of those for my car. Why'd you stop doing it? Well, I mean, I know what you're baiting there, but to be honest, if anything, I started doing it more when he started doing the creepy videos that were like, you need me. You need me. You miss me on Netflix. Admit it. The world hasn't been the same since you could just sit down for dinner and not have to ask what you're gonna watch. He was always saying some shit like that. Now you're eating dinner. You gotta say, have you seen this? I heard that this is pretty good. That's why you need a fella like me to tell you what to watch with dinner. It's true though. Nothing to watch these days. Nothing to watch these days is what people are saying. I need YouTube to eat. That's how they get you, man. Have you guys been following the arc of Justin showing, or reading, I should say, what his suggested search topics are on TikTok every single day? I don't even want to read his, because I think you should save the bit for him. But he posted maybe something that, it might have been some of the realest shit I've ever heard. He posted his suggested searches on TikTok, and then the next message he had was, I think I finally understand why everyone is so insane now. You may like, stop viewing my accounts, how to communicate with someone who's passed away, signs you have psionic abilities, NASA warns people to evacuate, what I gave versus what I got trend, men become obsessed when you walk away. That one, they kind of clocked us with that one. 7th year tribulation happening now. CERN portal footage of new animals. I didn't read that one closely when he posted it. CERN portal footage of new animals is so sick. Someone wants to mark you. And why are people saying the rapture is coming? That's fucking funny, man. What is he watching on there? He's not watching anything. He's got the last pure TikTok account, which is why the suggestions are scary, man. I've been working on my New Year's resolutions. Let me know what you guys think about this one. And trust me, I probably would have beaten my ass a few years ago for saying this, but I think it's just, you know, you get older, things change. First New Year's resolution, I think it's time to become a pajama guy. I've been rocking t-shirt and boxer briefs to bed for probably like 21 years now. I think it might be time. I have a child. I'm gonna be entering my 40s soon. I sleep in a bed with my wife. I think it might be time to start entering my pajamas era. Like a cozy button-up shirt and some pants that show the outline of your cock. I think it's time. So I'm thinking I might become a pajama guy. That's step one. I haven't really got any further than the pajamas at this point. I haven't thought about it any deeper than the pajamas, but fuck ass hat? I don't know about the fuck ass hat. I think it would leave a mark on my head. Might be something more for if you have hair. Robe guy? No, I don't think I'm ever gonna become a robe fella. A Robespierre, if you will. I just don't like the way a robe is somewhat comfortable, but I find naked plus robe, just for me, not agnostic of, like, not all other things being equal, just for me, I don't like the feeling of just being naked plus robe. It feels weird. You know what I think it is? It's not that other clothes feel weird on your undercarriage. That's not fair to other clothes, because they're made of like nice materials and stuff. It's really just that like underwear feels so good on your cock and balls that whenever you're not wearing underwear, you notice. Perhaps some of the most underappreciated scientists out there are whatever scientists invented like boxer briefs. because it holds your cock and balls like just right. And I'm not trying to be like lewd or salacious. Like it gives you a little bit of support, but it doesn't feel like, you know, at any given moment they could squeeze them till they explode. It's just like they just in this day and age it's very rare, but they just do what they're supposed to do and don't fucking overpromise and underdeliver. They're just always there for you, man. This dude is so circumcised. Yeah, thank you for getting them. I'm very open about the fact that I was circumcised. I got it done last year as a subscriber goal. Boxers need an app. Now we're talking. My boxers. Oh no! Someone hacked my underwear and they broke my penis. They're squeezing my dick and balls too hard. Oh no! North Korea hacked my boxers. My subscriptions are, we're raising the price of your underwear by $6.99 a year to continue to bring you the underwear experience that you've become accustomed to. Well, I've become accustomed to this shit not costing $75 a year! My parents, like 3 months ago, they moved to Vancouver, so we've been hanging out a lot. And one thing you need to know, people in Vancouver, it's not that they're not nice, but people in the rest of the country, and I think this is true for the United States as well, so it's not completely unrelatable. People in the rest of the country are a little open and warm when they meet a stranger. They'll, like, if they pass you on the street, they'll say hi, you know, it might even just randomly, like, compliment you out of the blue on the street. Whereas in Vancouver, people are in their own world. Some of it is, like, you know, flippance. Some of it is they're busy. Some of it is that there's a lot of people, etc., etc. But, so my parents have not learned the Vancouver chill yet, you know, like the Seattle freeze. So whenever my dad sees a dog, he, like, just gets down, like, nose to nose with the dog. He doesn't ask, like, can I pet your dog or anything like that. He just goes, like, what a beautiful dog, and just, like, gets, like, face to face with the dog. And the owners are, like, freaking out, but because of the way that the Vancouver culture is, they can't really, like, say it. Like, they can't really be like, don't touch my dog. Because everyone here is a little bit, like, more reserved. So he's aura farming these dogs, like, I don't know, maybe like 10 times per walk, man. It's awesome. It's rude not to. He's literally, like, older, so it's okay. He's just petting the dog. It's all right. He might be changing the scene. Yeah, maybe it'll be like a children's book. Like, after a year, I'll visit, and everyone's gonna be like, hey! Everyone's gonna be getting, like, nose to nose with the dog or something like that. Who knows? It would be so funny if he got a Reddit thread about him that was like, anyone else experience this guy in my neighborhood? Like, there's an incredibly strange man who doesn't ask if he can pet your dog. I've already done the bit where, like, in my old neighborhood, when someone my age sees someone walking a dog, they go, oh my god, you beautiful prince or princess. Oh my god, can I pet them? Oh, they're so friendly. This is your, oh, so cute. And then whenever they see me, like, walking my kid in the stroller, they give me a look like this. They give me a look like, who brought the kid to the dog neighborhood? I'm not saying there are r/child-free moderators. They might just be like I was before I have a kid, which is like, I'm not a kid anymore, so I don't know how to talk to kids, which is also fair. But they know how to talk to dogs. Dogs don't grow up to become uninformed voters. Okay, listen, they literally, like, eat kids all the time. I'm not saying every dog eats a child, but there's a news story every day about a dog eating a kid, okay? So, like, don't give me this dogs have, like, pure souls thing. That's one dog. It's not one dog. There might be, like, it's not all the dogs. It might be like 2 or 3 types of dogs, but there's several dogs out there that have been known to eat people, okay? Sometimes cats will give you the cold shoulder. It's true, but I kind of dig the vibe, honestly. That's only 2x Pimpy? You literally can't say that because that's a real dog. And as far as I know, 2x Pimpy has no charges. No teardrops tattooed on 2x Pimpies. We need to bring it back, man. Yup, what is it? Yup, I cloned Pimpy. I brought Pimpy back from the dead. Oh, red rum, that's it. Also, if anything, when my kid votes, she'll be informed. She might be misinformed, but she's not going to be uninformed. Honestly, it would probably be a little bit better off if more voters were uninformed versus misinformed. You can at least, you could talk to like an uninformed voter. They'd be saying some shit like, I don't really know what's going on. Misinformed voter, they're like, I got this shit all figured out. You got no hope, man. Red Rum, back from the dead. It's kind of crazy that that's like Tom Brady now, right? Didn't he clone his dog? That being said, I bet it fucks with him that the dog's not the same. I think that, or if, I don't know, I'm assuming he's getting a lot of FaceTime with the dog, but like, that the dog is, because you can't clone the personality, right? That dog's gonna behave a little different. I bet Tom Brady, like, he's gotta have some fucked up dreams about it or something like that. Like, man was not meant to, to come face to face with those kind of questions. I don't think an individual human being was ever supposed to, like, make a genetic copy of something that they love and then reconcile with the fact that it's, even though it's the same blueprint, it ain't the same house. No, I would not clone my cats, because it's just, I don't know, it's just... it's just, to me, it's just not, I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase it. It just seems like insane to me, I guess, to be like, I love something so much that rather than experience an aspect of that love, which is grieving its inevitable loss, I'm going to photocopy it even though it's not the same. That way I like don't have to be as sad that it's gone, because it's never really gone. But in a weird way, it's like almost more sick to me that's like to say we go again, I guess. But maybe it doesn't incur any karmic debt because it's not the same soul. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know, because maybe karma just goes, ha, nice try. You think we didn't think of that? We patched that shit back in like -2 million or something. Who knows? Yeah, like it's a new cat. I mean, it looks a lot like the original for sure. I know it must be fucked up if you like clone your pet after it dies, but then like your new pet like loves to eat. And you're like, damn, knock that shit off. You don't even look like Sparky anymore, bro. The fuck? Got a random mutation that he can't stop eating, man. We cloned you so you would look like Sparky, and you don't look like Sparky anymore. Why the fuck Steve Albini have to say that shit about Steely Dan, man? Now every chat I go into, someone goes, hey, you're the Steely Dan guy, right? What do you think about Steve Albini? And I gotta go, oh, fuck. What did he say about them? I think that he like hates them more than any band that's ever existed in history or something. He basically did to Steely Dan what Quentin Tarantino did to Paul Dano. Trolling librarian? What, because I took an amazing item? Are you cracking my spine? You really think I'm Danny Aiello, bro? Bro could crush my ribcage with his bare hands. We're in Steely Dan December. What about Joan Baez January? Nah, I don't think so. I don't know what January is going to be yet. I'll tell you one thing though, I think it's very unlikely to get selected on an alliteration basis. I gotta wait till it comes to me. To be honest with you, it could be fucking Steely Dan January. It might be boring for you, but you're not the one who is fucking listening to it, and listening to it is peak. Plus, there you go, Steely Danuary. Maybe it will be on an alliterative basis. Kate and Luna gonna hate you. I swear to you, I thought that was the case. But we had to go to a thing in our daughter's school on Tuesday, like last Tuesday, and just out of inertia, we had my playlist on. And then when we got back to the house, fellas, I genuinely heard my wife singing to herself, try again tomorrow. And I was like, oh shit. And then I went, is that Steely Dan? And she went, yeah. I said, I thought you didn't like it. She said, I never said I didn't like it. The Bob Dylan didn't hit. The Bob Dylan didn't hit. We might have found not to say it's her favorite music of all time, but we might have found a little common ground on the late 70s Steely. I don't know about the early 70s Steely, where it's a little bit more classic rock and a little less jazz rock, but the late 70s Steely might be wife approved. Can't believe Bob Dylan didn't hit. Well, like, I was listening to a lot of stuff from the 70s, and like every song from the 70s is basically about how much he hates his ex-wife. So, and his voice is a bit of an acquired taste, so we can see the vibes are a little off on that one. My wife can't stand the harmonica in Blonde on Blonde. Completely, so I disagree with her, but completely understandable. It is loud as fuck. But she'd probably like, if she can persevere, she probably likes Sooner or Later, One of Us Must Know, right? Best song on the album? No, you motherfucker. Sooner or Later, One of Us Must Know is not the best song on Blonde, you motherfucker. Visions of Johanna is off. No, it is? No, Nolan, no, it's not. Oh my God, you're being serious. No, Nolan. You have to listen to it 100 more times until you realize that Visions of Johanna is the best song on the album. It's not Sooner or Later, One of Us Must Know. You're breaking my fucking heart, Nolan. You're breaking my heart. I don't, you can say Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands if you want, but I don't know. Half of that song, I don't know what he's talking about. I get that he's talking about his, like, fiance, but also at the same time, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about with the drums, man? Visions of Johanna is the GOAT. Best song on East? Oh, maybe it's Joanna Newsom January. It's been a minute, man. I could see myself pumping some watts to Cosmia. It might be Only Skin. There's only like 5 songs, right? It might be any of them. Except I will say the last track on the album for me, like the lowest track, is Sawdust and Diamonds, which is still a great song. But all the other ones are in contention for me for best on the album, I think. What a fucking dodge. What a fucking dodge. Worst song on Blonde? A lot of the songs that people hate on the album, I fucking love. The worst song is probably Pledging My Time, maybe. What's the Norwegian Wood riff that's closer to the end of the album? Fifth Time Around, maybe? I really like Rainy Day Women 12 and 35, and I really like what a lot of people think is one of the most annoying songs that he's ever done, which is your brand new leopard skin pillbox hat, which I think is fucking awesome. But a lot of people are not fucking with it at all. That's the top half for sure. He saw you making love to him, bro. You forgot to close the garage door. It's such like a such a sick burn. What the fuck was he even talking about? He had a fancy girlfriend and he hate that. She tells me every day. Something like that. How was it a burn? They were fucking in the garage, Jerry. That's gold. That's gold. Shave and a haircut in NYC, $90. That seems about right. I would expect to pay $40 to get shaved at the barber shop. But as with everything here, you gotta remember you're not really paying for like the shave. You're paying for the chair more than anything else. Like the dude running the... I feel like I'm a little worried that my city's not gonna exist in its current state in like 10 years. There's an article that the Vancouver restaurant industry has been ringing the bell for like, I don't know, a generation that like the restaurant industry's in trouble. I read an article this weekend that was like that the standard profit margin at a restaurant in Vancouver used to be about 11%. So if you sat a table for $100, you're pulling out $11 as the business owner by the time you pay rent, utilities, staff, food, etc., etc. And the article seemed to imply that broadly that heuristic has now gone down to 1.5%, man! Which seems like at that point, if you own a restaurant and you're taking on all the risk of like running a business and hiring people and, people are leaving you 1-star Google reviews because they have psychosis and stuff like that, you're probably like, maybe I'll just buy a GIC instead. Maybe I'll just maybe I'll take all my money out of the restaurant and just buy a GIC that pays like 4%, so that I don't have to fucking roll the dice on making 1.5% or something. That seems crazy, man. That's true. Luckily, there's lots of people who have fantasized about running a restaurant for their entire lives, and they will continue to ignore the warning flashing alarms and get into the business. And I hope it works out, because I like to eat outside of my house. That's daily interest, though. The fund is yearly. Don't listen. You're doing something that I really don't respect, which is you're making business majors look like their school is hard. You know the joke about how you walk by the business classroom and it says like profit equals revenue minus costs? You're the guy with the notebook that's that's writing it down and going, I never thought about it that way. So don't do that, please. And maybe I should order some appetizers now that I know that they got a 1.5% profit margin. It must be, the other thing that must be fucked up about running a restaurant is like overhearing the tables be like, they're charging this much for this, and then realizing that like the $12 entree is literally putting like 14 cents into the pocket of the business. Like buddy, it's costing us like, the nachos are $17, it costs us $16 to get them on the table. Where do all the new restaurants come from then? High-paying second income spouse, I think, largely. What's the deal with airplane food? Low-key, someone's got to hold Jerry Seinfeld accountable for that. I don't know if it's different in the 80s, but the airplane food ain't that bad these days. I don't know what it is. Airplane food mashed potatoes go crazy. I guess mashed potatoes just taste better if they're like pre-cooked and then wrapped in foil and kept in a warmer for like 4 hours. I get hyped for airplane food. Some of the meals ain't that bad, man. And before you say it, I'm flying fucking coach, okay? I'm flying economy. I'm getting the same meal on a transatlantic flight that you're getting. They've been actually serving some stuff that has dignity. 10 years ago, it was a little bit more fucked up, for sure. Yeah, but you're the only person on the plane? Well, you think you're talking to Vince Young, bro? They always serve that cold bread. It's kind of sick to have a wife who doesn't really like bread that much, and then a daughter who also doesn't really like bread that much. Because if we're on a long flight that actually gets a meal, I mean, I just got 3 rolls, bro. And there's really nothing else to do on the airplane but eat. So you know I'm chowing down. But dads, don't you hate it when you ask your daughter what meal they want, and it's not the one of the 2 choices that you want? And then she takes 1 bite and goes, I don't really like this. And you're like, well, why couldn't you have gotten the fucking chicken? Because then I would have happily eaten your chicken. But I don't want to eat this fucked up, like, microwave Tuscan penne that's been... like the noodles, as soon as you poke them with the fork, the noodle just disintegrates. And the noodle is penne. It shouldn't be disintegrating like that. And the fork is made of some fuck-ass recycled plastic. So it shouldn't be disintegrating anything. You gotta go to better restaurants? They don't have them in row 37G, bro! I just gotta get whatever they give me from the trough. Oink, oink, piggy. This is so true. Oink, oink. Oink, oink. Who wants a fucking half a can of Diet Coke, bitch? Oh, your lips look really dry. Have you been waiting a long time for this can of Diet Coke? Wow, it would be a fucking shame if the row in front of you 8 hours into the flight goes, do you have any more vegetarian entrees? And we gotta push the cart all the way to the back of our witty-bitty airplane. Be another 8 minutes till you get your fucking Diet Coke, bitch. Fuck. Be a shame if on your 90-minute flight, the guy in front of you ordered 7 alcoholic drinks, so it took forever for them to get you with your fucking Canada Dry ginger ale. In all seriousness, though, screw vegetarians. Ain't that the truth? I've been saying they've been having it too good for too long. Vegetarians, you can still order a vegetarian meal on the airplane, but you don't get your meal first anymore. You get your meal second. You've been getting it first for the entire time I've been alive. Now everybody else is getting the meal first, and you guys are getting the meal second. You've had it too good for too fucking long. Remember that episode of Kitchen Nightmares where Gordon Ramsay tricks a vegetarian guy into eating meat? And then everybody goes, this is awesome. And the troll face is crazy for that. I'm a vegetarian. I don't remember if he says this, but you can imagine it. Oh, vegetarian because I just don't believe in murdering animals and then eating them. There's plenty of food we can eat that's already vegetables. Oh, really? You like that pizza you just ate? Yeah? Well, that's made of people. I mean, pork. So, sorry, you hypocrite. We tricked you into eating something that you have an ethical dilemma about. So I was still thinking about Hannibal. Remember that lady crying over the sourdough bread? I will never, ever take her side. As long as I live, if you ever want to know if I've been replaced by a body snatcher or like AI has been running the show, just go, hey NL, how do you feel about that lady at J. Willie's on Kitchen Nightmares that started crying because she didn't get the right kind of bread? If I ever say something other than that middle-aged lady should chill the fuck out, oh no, my burger's got sourdough bread instead of hamburger buns, it's not worth crying over, you're like 50 years old. If I ever go, she was probably having a hard day and maybe the burger just pushed her over the edge. If I ever say some shit like that, I have been captured and I need you to save me. She probably was though. She literally, I say this because they were filming and they knew that they were filming, I literally think she just wanted attention. Maybe that's the demon mode took over for a second. I think she just wanted attention because she was on TV. I don't think that in a non-filmed restaurant environment, I don't think she's crying because they got the wrong hamburger bun on her burger. I think she might be pissed off. I don't think she's going to emotionally break down. I want to watch that shit on stream. She's my number one op. I know nothing about her except that. She might literally like give all of her money to charity. But she's, for the rest of my life, she's an op, as far as I'm concerned. And then Gordon just makes it worse, because he's the show. Oh, you've made this woman cry. Bro, she came pre-moistened, let's put it that way. It's a horrible way to phrase that. That's the other thing, and I thank you for saying it. Sourdough bread is fucking good. So, listen, it's not the appropriate little vessel for a hamburger patty, but still, like, it's good bread. Let's buy a car. Julie, I said it in your chat. Car guy with no license, and I'm not even being a hater. It's actually the opposite. Car guy with no license is a vibe. Because I don't know if you have this, I'm assuming you do, because I think this might be like a universal thing. Over here, car guys typically, they become really into cars. I don't know if you know, there's a whole genre of North American man whose like Facebook profile picture is still just a car that he had in high school. And I know you're picturing like a car from the 1960s right now, like a red, like beat up American muscle car or something. No, man, I'm talking about like from 2006. So there's a genre of man that kind of just falls in love with the first used car he bought in high school and spends all his time talking about how he's like souping up this car. And, you know, usually he'll be like a friend of a friend in a group, and he'll be talking about, you know, like he got the turbo redone last week. It's got aftermarket, like, air intakes and stuff like that. And it's a perfectly wholesome type of guy. It's just like just a guy who's really into cars. But then he always has a license. And the reason I know is because I know this guy. And he was always like, hey, you guys want to go? Sure, I'll drive. And then like the way that you would pay him back for him driving you, if it was a road trip, you would give him a little gas money. But if it was just like a trip to Walmart or whatever, you would just sit in the car while he did donuts in the empty parking lot and go, wow, that's sick. So to be that guy but not have a license it's unusual to me, but it's unusual in a way that I find interesting at a bare minimum. True, but I'd low-key love to go to the store sometime. I feel like I'm a little millennial devil on your ear that's going like, you should get your driver's license. But like, if you can't really walk to the store or take public transit to the store, a car is kind of the move, man. Like it's, the bus smells like cigarettes. Well, then you should take the bus. That's totally fine. I mean, the bus is always a little bit fucked up. It's also kind of awesome. I mean, the bus is fucked up because it's like an accurate representation of like society. Like, you got people on there that are not following the social code. You got people out there that are not following the golden rule, and then you got people on there that are heroes, man. Persimmons smell strongly of semen, so I can't eat them. Thank you for saying that, because I thought that I was a little crazy, and honestly, check out in my own head a little bit when I said that coconut water smells like semen, and everyone went, huh? They did the cat thing, huh? But persimmons do have a certain semenic quality to the smell of them, at least. 100%. I'm going to validate you, and I'm going to say +2. But I still eat them, and I think that they taste good. So maybe it's time to explore some discoveries about myself. I don't know. But I will say, not to vice signal, I think that they taste good in spite of the quality of semen that they carry. Not because of the quality of semen that they carry. I mean, it's not a surprise that something in nature would smell like cum, right? Like, cum is from nature. It would be weird if cum was the only thing that smelled like that. Like, it's all just a different composition of, like, chemicals. Is it good or bad that mine doesn't smell? Your persimmons or your semen? Because your semen definitely smells. And if you don't smell it, you should take out the trash in your room. Because you have gone nose blind. Which is a disaster if you have someone come over. You do not want to, you got to take care of that, like, right away. Go, next time you're at the store, just get, like, a candle or something. Who's smelling their cum? I don't know, I guess anybody breathing in air when it's in the environment? Like, what are you talking about? Oh, that's true, you could also buy some persimmons to display in your room. You could be like, oh yes, that aroma, that wonderful smell, fresh persimmons. I sliced some persimmons before you came over. And then you don't have to clean. Librarian, we've had our differences today. This is a very pivotal moment for a guy like me. Is this any good? Is this any good? It's bad. Okay, thank you. They added item descriptions for old people like you. They literally added it for young people who have been trained to play games with, like, a wiki open, okay? Old people like me, we know how it is, man. We know how you give me an item, fuck me, fuck you, whatever. I'll keep playing that garbage. Oh, I'm so paralyzed. I'm literally pausing my game right now. What's the best epiphany to take with Rin? Bro, just take when you're in Dark Mist stance, you get +1 hit. Are you stupid? Look at your crit chance, bro. It's an obvious choice. Without me, you would have picked up Larynx. Librarian, no shot. No shot. Without you, I would have not even looked at the item. I only asked you because I know you would give me an honest answer. If it weren't for you, I would have said, new item, probably sucks. Which would have been right, but there are cases where it's wrong. This day sucks. It's literally the most wonderful time of the year, bitch. With the people that laugh and the cars that go past, and there's lots of good cheer. This could be big. We're leery and leery. Anybody here Canadian and watch a shitload of Dragon's Den, probably like season 1 to season 5? Kevin O'Leary will forever be my worst of all time. I think he is like an idiot's idea of what a rich person is like. He's a good businessman in the sense that his company sucked and he managed to offload it onto Mattel in what many people have called one of the worst business deals in human history. And then for the rest of his life, has essentially just benefited from idiots being like, he can't be stupid, he has lots of money. So I wish him no goodwill, let's put it that way. But I will see Marty Supreme regardless, and I've said it before, I think he's gonna fucking own in Marty Supreme. I just feel it in my soul that he's the perfect man for the role in Marty Supreme. Then who else we got? I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, and I don't care who this offends. Number 2 judge that I'm not fucking with is Arlene Dickinson. Because she just stayed on the show too long, and also in the archetype of reality TV judges, I don't play the one who's got the world's smallest violin, okay? She was always the one going, you shouldn't be so mean to this person. Lady, you know what show you're on. We're all in this together. Then it gets complicated because there was the dude on the show who like 15 years ago was kind of like Tony Stark, but then he went crazy. He was like the nice guy on the show who was always giving people deals, and then he went insane at some point and is now, you can't talk about him at all. And I don't know what happened. Jim seems okay, even though Boston Pizza sucks ass. Robert, I don't know. He's... the bit has no legs. I guess I've decided I just don't give a fuck, man. I just don't give a fuck. I liked when they had the Rich Dad Poor Dad guy on there. He was alright. I knew things were getting cooked when they had Vij from Vij's Restaurants on there. I was like, I got nothing. Stop asking if Chubb's okay. No, bro. He's been trapped in the game for years. Another deal? This one's for you, librarian, right there. Because, like, they used to have people on there that had a net worth of, like, $800 million. Vij is just he's a guy who has, like, a couple of restaurants. And apparently the restaurants are, like, really good. It's kind of crazy that I've lived in Vancouver for this long and I haven't eaten at... I guess I ate at, like, the bistro one once, but I've never eaten at the real one, but... I was kind of like, what are you doing here, man? Shouldn't you be in the kitchen? Which sounds really rude, but he's a restaurateur. Sounds really offensive, but... I was like, you're not a businessman, you're a chef, man. And you should be proud. I think it's cooler to be a chef than a businessman. Sorry to all the businessmen out there watching. Yeah, but the 1.5%? No kidding, man. That fucked me up, man. 1.5% seems like a pretty slim margin. If that report is true, you gotta imagine there's a lot of days where they're like, why the fuck are we doing this, man? Isn't Rich Dad Poor Dad guy a hack with $1 billion of debt? You know what? Sorry, I got it wrong. Oh my god, thank you for saving me. They did not have the Rich Dad Poor Dad Robert Kiyosaki on. That was not who I meant. I meant the wealthy barber. Oh my god. I felt like I just saw my life flash before my eyes and you saved my life. Holy cow. Rich Dad Poor Dad is the guy who's like 80 years old and like every interview he gives, he's like, the world is coming to an end. You need to buy silver right now. Holy shit, it's the best day of my fucking life. What the fuck? What's crazy, librarian? And here's why we're mogging right now. You can't claim this is good luck. How can this be good luck? Our sample size is large as fuck. Maybe you gotta stop holding R's so much, little gup. Whatever. You could have these results too. Just stop giving up on runs where the first item's like not 10 out of 10. Delayed gratification, impossible. You guys can do it. I know you didn't you invent edging? I think you guys got it in you. Hi, U.S. Field Manual Piss Guy. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for acknowledging them. I appreciate that. Passed on Tinted Skull like 80 times? Bro. Okay, XX the big foe. What do you want me to do with the Tinted Skull? I'll even give you a hint, okay? We're 30 minutes and 14 seconds into the run. What the fuck do you want me to do with the Tinted Skull? What do you think's inside of that motherfucker? A black heart? Mods? Make him realize after he's left the house that his sock has a huge hole on the sole of his foot. Not at the toe, but on the sole of his foot, so he can feel his shoe rubbing against the pad of his foot the entire time he's out. And then when he gets home and he takes his sock off, there's like a big, like, black leather mark on the bottom of his foot, so he has to wash it in the shower, but it's ticklish, so he's holding his foot up and he's washing it in the shower, but he can't stop giggling. Why did this turn into a kink? I think you could say that people have feet without it being a foot fetish, but I might be the last honest man on earth. Sure. Justin, I think, and I are kindred spirits on feet. I think that, and Chibley too, because I think a foot fetish is objectively funny. That's like a really good item, right? I don't need librarian for that one. But I'm also not one of those people that is like, feet are so weird. Whoa, feet are crazy. Have you ever looked at them? I don't know, they just look they just look like feet to me. 90% of foot fetishists are men. Well, yeah, because like, I also, you know, actually what I would love to see to make my point here, I would love to see a gay versus straight breakdown on foot fetish. Because I have a hypothesis, which is just that men's feet are objectively more fucked up than women's feet. I think like I mean, I can't put myself completely in the shoes of someone who's attracted to men, but I can't imagine looking at like the average man's foot and being like, yes, that's what I'm fucking talking about. Perfect amount of hair on the toes. Like, fingernail or toenails cut with absolutely no idea of what's going on with the aesthetics, just clearly rushing to finish the job as fast as possible because no one's really gonna look at these ever. Like, so to me, it makes sense that like the average foot fetishist is a man for sure, is a straight man specifically. Now, I would have to say there's gotta be gay men who love men's feet, but I do think they're in the minority in that camp. It's true, I'm bi and I only like girls' feet. That's literally like, okay, first off, thank you for sharing that, genuinely. But secondarily, like, I think that's just called having eyeballs. It is still crazy, I'm taking your word for it. It is still crazy to me that you've told me balls are sexually appealing. If you find men attractive. Because I just don't get it. The cock I kind of can understand, or I can put myself in a position where I can understand it, but the balls are one where I just have to say, you know what, I believe you. I can't summon an echo of the feeling in myself, but I do believe you. It's like big boobs. That's insane. What you've just said to me is so far outside of the realm of logic that you've temporarily short-circuited me, to be honest with you. I don't believe you. I don't believe there. So anyone here, do we have any bisexuals in chat? Is it the same thing? Is nice balls and big boobs the same thing? Not the same thing, not the same thing, not the same thing, not really, not for me, nah. Oh, okay, that's because I was like, every once in a while you face a piece of evidence that shows you how like wrong your model of the world is, and that one threw me for a loop for sure. People have different tastes though. Yeah, obviously. I'm asking if I put you in an MRI machine as a bisexual and showed you a picture of some big boobs and then showed you a picture of some nice balls and then I showed the pictures to the person that was doing the test, would they be like, interesting. It's got exactly the same brain activity for both of them. It turns out big boobs is just like nice balls. Define nice balls? It's not for me to define. I'm assuming there's a level, I think it depends how horny you are. Might be, some days you might be a total degen and be like, I want to see the biggest balls I can see. And some days you might be like, oh, just a normal pair of balls are just fine. Just a proportional pair of balls would hit the spot right now. Sometimes it might be like, wow, the balls are like really symmetrical or something like that. I don't know. Some days it might just be that's well groomed. That actually threw me for a loop when you said nice balls is like big boobs. That's crazy. I felt like Tom Hanks and Elvis. Stop hitting me! I need to hit this guy! I guess they both go pretty hard if you jiggle them. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. This is just one guy talking. Having your balls jiggled does not really feel good. Like, you know how in Arc Raiders you bleed out faster if you crawl while you're downed? That's kind of like your balls are kind of permanently one shot. When they're juggled, it doesn't feel nice. Yeah, a little sway maybe, but they should never be completely subject to the whims of gravity. Let's put it that way. Like this, it should never be like a drop zone type movement happening. I don't know what you want me to say. Balls are one-tapped, man. Bro doesn't know about CBT. Actually, thank you for bringing that up. That is the one fetish I'm aware of that's funnier. Like, there's a lot of funny fetishes, not to ruin anybody's day, but like I hope that if you have them, you at least acknowledge how humorous it is. But like foot fetish, pretty funny. having a fetish where you're like, I can only achieve climax if someone like punches me in the dick and balls is actually funnier. And it's not even close, which is crazy to say, but it's funnier, I think. Other ones, and I don't know how widely represented these are. And let me just also say, if you have these, I'm not saying fuck you. I'm actually, if anything, I'm saying, I guess I'm a little sympathetic, because like, this is somewhat impractical, or at least adds some wrinkles into it. The like inflated latex suits is crazy to me. Like that just seems like you're buying all sorts of like apparatuses to get into it and stuff like that, and then like I just don't even really know like what it is. I don't even really know like what it is about it. I don't know. Like it does. It seems like an expensive one. Yeah. Vacuum sealed one. It's just seems like a lot of work, I guess is what I'm saying. It's just like bondage. No, it's not, because it looks so much funnier. Like a picture of someone in one of those inflated suits is really, really funny. I'm sorry, you can't deny it. I saw a video once of someone getting lift lowered into a floor and sealed. They sealed them in the floor? Like, like in Jumanji when Robin Williams is like, they turn the floor into quicksand and he's going like, roll the dice, roll the dice. That's crazy, man. That is a thing. We also, if you'll allow me, we also need to stop saying it's a thing when like one person on Earth has it. Like everybody in chat is talking about the same video right now. It's not like they're like, oh, I also saw another independent video of that happen. They're all talking about the same video. So like I'm not saying it's something that doesn't exist. I'm saying that with 7 billion people on the planet, there's like, you know, if like 200 people have it, I don't have to treat it as just as a serious part of the discourse. Whereas I'm pretty sure with foot fetishes is probably, I don't know, 8% of the population, something like that, if I had to guess. And then the cock and ball torture, I don't know, maybe like 0.5% or something like that. It's gotta be on the low side. It's super common. I don't think it's super common. I think it's represented a lot online, if I had to guess. I don't think it's super common. You're saying 99%? It's not that low a percentage. I'd have to see some stats on it, man. I just, like, getting close to climax and then, like, having your nuts crushed just seems like so niche to me. I'm not saying, by the way, when I say niche, you're probably saying, no, I could find that content really easily. That, A, is not a skill. B, I completely believe you. I'm saying represented in the population at large. Floor hole video, no one is naked, it's just weird. I mean, seal it, that is fucking funny. Fetishes are awesome. The fact that there's people out there that are like the human brain is so funny. People are watching that shit going like, I'm getting horny at the idea of like, I guess being the one who gets sealed into the house. Like, that's funny as fuck, man. And isn't I don't know if it's science, but isn't the current wisdom on fetish is just like, yeah, sometimes it really just depends on like when you get your first boner. If you get your first boner watching Jumanji, then you're probably gonna have the quicksand fetish. Like, that's crazy. How it worked for me? That's wild, man. That's why I think you gotta have a sense of humor. You didn't have any control over it, probably. Unless you incepted yourself into having a funny fetish by like just jerking off way, way, way too much, and then like, I guess your tastes start to like accelerate a little bit, and then you find yourself getting into like the floor one. In that case, that's a self-inflicted wound. By the way, we mog. Probably one of the hardest Isaac runs I've ever had in my entire life, and look at that. Well, well, well. What are we at here? Oh, 10 wins in a row. Let me slash marker that, and then is Kate live right now? Yes, she is. I will send you over there. I will send you over there. We're getting demonetized tonight. Ogre. What is it really Japanese ogre? Japanese ogre. Yep. Japanese ogre. That's crazy. Great emoji though. When did we switch from emoji to emote, man? Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. I will be live tomorrow. Later. Gay Bob Dylan would be like, he sucks cock just like a man. Oh, he gocks just like a man. The last one to be like, yes, he does. He guzzles cum just like a man. Plug his mic in. Woody Guthrie at the fucking Newport Folk Festival. Don't do it, Bob. Don't go gay. I'm doing it. Once upon a time, you touched my balls. Didn't you? Dicking you? Boo! Boo! Bob Dylan went gay. He went gay. That's so true. Gay Bob Dylan. A man in me would do nearly any ass. And then it writes itself after that point. You're so true. My girl going through my phone. What the hell is this? Title, gay hurricane. Piss and cum ring out on a gay night. Enter my boyfriend from the upper hall. He gives me a glass from a bowl of cum. Shouts out, my God, I've come a lot. Here comes the story of the hurricane. I'm not gonna say it, it's a different song. It's a distinct song, okay? It's like instead of the song Sarah, it was like about, Daryl. Grecian type statue with a hell of a cock. Daryl. Now that you got me, you don't need a sock. Something like that.